Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So today's video is about Sushant Singh Rajput. I have made a video on him before, and that was all about standing up for justice for him in his case. So this video, one of the reasons I'm making this video is for all of us to keep talking about him, keep remembering him, and most important, keep pushing for justice. We want CBI to expose the truth and do a fair investigation in this case. So today's video, I'm just going to go through what person he was in terms of his great, amazing qualities. And those of you that are fans of him, they already know these qualities, but I just want to tell the world, highlight to the world what an amazing, wonderful human being he was, and how he inspired a lot of people, and his qualities are inspiring in itself. And there's a lot that we can learn as adults, and there's a lot we can teach our children from the person that he was and how he lived his life. So I've just got a list here and I'll go through it. So first of all, he was really respectful. So I didn't know him personally. I actually didn't even know of him until his death. But since then, I've been following the case and looking at all his interviews and his videos and seeing what kind of a person that he was. And from that, I found him to be incredibly respectful to everyone that he met. So all the interviews, all the interviewers, reporters, just everyone that he came across, he seemed to be really respectful. And that's an amazing quality. He was loving to everyone he met. So respectful and loving. So however poor, however rich, regardless of age, he was loving to everyone, from little kids to the elderly. And that is an amazing quality for a human being to have. And we all want to inspire to be more like that, to treat everyone with respect and love. That to me is one of the greatest qualities we can have. He was humble. He was down to earth, humble. He was really generous. He was a really giving person. He donated millions of dollars to charities, and there was no media coverage. So without anyone knowing, he did this. There's a lot of celebrities out there that do donation and they let the world know, or the media, it's as part of PR or whatever it is. But he did a lot without people knowing. And that itself, to me, it's pretty amazing. One of his ex-staff said that he once visited a sick child with cancer, flew over to visit his home, filled his home with toys. I believe he also paid for his treatment without a single camera or media or anyone being there. It was all in secret. And we don't know how many more of these charitable acts that he did do with nobody knew about. So he had an incredible heart. To me, a generous person who's giving, it's more important than any other qualities we can have. On top of that, he was highly intelligent. He had awards, national awards in physics. He was extremely smart and well-read. He worked with top scientists around the world to come up with new initiatives. He had a brilliant mind, a genius mind. And he was working on applications, apps to help the poor, the illiterate to communicate. He was working on apps for COVID. He was going to achieve amazing, life-changing global, positive. He was going to make a really positive impact in changing people's lives for the better. The way he lived his life, it's inspiring. He talks about in his interviews of being present in the moment. So if you see some of his interviews, he's talked about living not for the future, but appreciating the present moment. So for example, when he got his car, his sports car, he said the happiness was short-lived and then you're on to the next thing. So he talked about really living not for a future outcome, but just appreciating everything that's happening right now. And that is the way I live my life, and I've learned to live my life. Because if we only focus on the future, we'll never be happy. And once a moment's passed, it is past. So we do need to appreciate every moment like a child does. A child is in the moment. They appreciate the simple joys of life. And this is something about Sushant. He was like a child. He was simple, he was pure, he was innocent like a child. And he lived his life just appreciating simple things and things we take for granted, like the beauty of the moon. And I love the moon myself. And there's so much beauty that we just take for granted. We don't stop to appreciate these things. And that's another thing we can learn of him, how to be happy in the moment at simple things. He was close to nature. He loved animals. He loved the stars. He loved and wanted to do organic farming. Something I do organic gardening. There's a lot of things that I can really relate to with Sushant. And being close to nature is very good for us. And it's something, again, we can all inspire more to do, especially in this modern, stressful life that we live today. So being more like a child, I think as adults, we forget that joyful, childlike wonder. And that's something we need to remind ourselves and go back to, because that's really living life and living it fully. He went after his dreams. He used to write his dreams down. There's a 50 dreams list or bucket list. And I share some of those common dreams. And not only did he write his dreams down, he was achieving his dreams. He did amazing in his career. He became a star, a Bollywood star in the country. Despite coming from the outside, he really became famous and had really movies that done really well. He became a popular celebrity. It is important to have goals, and he wrote down all his goals. He was clear about his goals. He planned even the minute details. He planned his life, and he had big dreams. He had big dreams, and that's something we can all inspire to. I have my vision board, and I've always been like Sushant in that way. I wrote down my dreams and I achieved them. And I hope to achieve the common dreams that I have with Sushant as well. He was not attached or driven by money. That is something that's important, because money can become the root of all evils. And for us to be detached from that, and for him to be detached from that, that's something else we can learn. He was not driven by it, money. He was driven by deeper values in life. He was confident in himself. And that's why he achieved so many of his dreams. He believed in himself, and that's what we can learn, and especially teach our kids to believe in themselves and that we can achieve anything if we put our mind to it. And he showed it that. He showed us that. That's why many children, many youths in India have been so inspired by him when he was alive. And I want to, with this video, be even more inspired now. He was multi-talented. He was a great actor. He was incredibly smart in the science world, in the technological world. He was an amazing dancer. He was really good in terms of fitness. That's something else we can be inspired towards. It takes a lot of discipline to have a fit body. He had a lot of discipline. And that's how he's able to get so far ahead in the acting world. It takes hard work. And he did a lot of hard work. He researched for a year to do a role in MS Dhoni. He put in the effort. He studied the script so hard. He really got into the characters because he studied the characters. He took time, he put effort in it. That's another thing. He was really disciplined and a real hard worker. That's something we can also teach our kids as well. Great dancer. He was, there's this multiple talents he had. As people would call that, all-rounder. He was patient. He waited for a movie role for, I believe, 3 years. He had patience. It takes patience to get it somewhere. And that's another thing we can learn and teach our children as well. He was a deep thinker. He was a wise thinker. If you look at his interviews, his level of mind was another level. But it was a beautiful mind. He had a beautiful body. He had a beautiful mind. He had a beautiful heart. But the most important thing, I feel he had a beautiful soul. And I believe that soul lives on. Once again, I just want to say what an amazing, inspiring human being he was. He was a rare gem. And it's incredibly, incredibly sad that we've lost him. But I want us, firstly, to keep fighting for justice for him and others, and not to forget him, especially this time when we all united in protesting and asking and pushing for justice. I want us to also remember these qualities of what an amazing person he was, and to live our own life with similar values of being respectful, loving, generous, kind, living life fully, not giving up, believing in our dreams. To teach all these really important values that Sushant had, not for our own practical life, not only for us, but also to teach our kids, because these are some of the most, or the most important values we can teach our kids. I want to thank you for listening to my video.